You are tuned to ARP on the Accelerated Radio Network. It's 12 noon, and it's time to have lunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Lunch with the Finance Bunch. Bringing money talk you can understand. And now here's your host, Miss Charliine.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Miss Charliine, and you're having lunch with the Finance Bunch. Today in our studio, we have three very experienced and very talented guests, and they are going to help us create an online presence. To my right, I have Claudia Castro. She's with Vacation Home Assistance. And then to my right, next to her, is Mr. Ian Chestnut, and he's with IVC Productions, LLC, and they are a web development company and design firm. And to my far right, I have Miss Jennifer Hoffman, and she is creative director for Sense Agility Ventures. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How are you today?
Great.
Wonderful.
I enjoy having you all in the studio with me today. This is going to be a wonderful way of everyone learning within their small businesses how to create an online presence. And I've worked with the three of you, and I think that by creating an online presence, and you'll give us more information on this, it helps promote your business. It validates your business. So we need to know how we get started, what we need to do, and then from you, Claudia, you have an online business, and you can tell us how it benefits you to have that presence and what it should look like.
Sure.
Okay? So first I'd like to know, Claudia, what is your online business? Could you tell us a little bit about your business and how long you've been in business and how you got started?
Sure. I've been in business for over a year. Mm-hmm. I've been in sales and marketing for about 20. But what I do is a lot of virtual assistance. So because we are a technology-based time in our lives where everything is basically off of the internet and off of technologies that we didn't have 10 years ago, I can manage and help a lot of people with their marketing, with their administrative duties, with their financial, anything behind the scenes that goes on for a business. I can do that virtually from my home with sharing files on Google Drive, on Dropbox, using the internet, using social media, using different ways to chat and communicate other than the phone. So basically everything is handled online.
So if I needed an executive assistant, mm-hmm. and I didn't necessarily need someone sitting across from me in my office, you could do that online for me.
Correct.
So all of the responsibilities from, letter writing to filing to bookkeeping, anything I needed in my office administratively, you could help me with that online?
Basically, it's everything that is needed on a computer, and that's everything.
Wow.
Yeah, on a laptop, on a Mac, from anywhere.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we don't even have a file cabinet anymore. We have everything digital.
So you have a virtual file cabinet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do, actually.
And I'm in that virtual file cabinet.
Sure.
Under C for Charliine.
Right.
And so, Ian,
yes.
Your company, I told you when I spoke to you that I was fascinated with your company. You guys do web design, and you do it at a level that is just amazing.
Thank you.
And we had everybody online going, ooh, 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 because what you do is just phenomenal. So tell us a little bit about your business, how long you've been in business, and what made you decide to go into this area of business?
Absolutely. So we have a website design firm. We're 15 years old.
Okay.
I started directly out of college. I graduated from USC in 2000, so we'll be 15 years old in May of this year.
And they love you over at USC, by the way.
They do.
As a customer and as a friend. I just wanted you to know that.
Well,
but go ahead.
Thank you. And so we currently manage about 250 websites on USC's campus, and then we also manage we've done about 500 outside non-USC projects for small businesses, individuals, athletes, celebrities, you name it. We've pretty much done it all, from real estate agents to mom and pop shops. And so we really enjoy it in being able to talk to small businesses and really understand what they're trying to do, whether it be a simple informational website where they're just trying to get the information out there, all the way up to a automated, efficient system that people are able to go to the website, make purchases, take care of shipping, handling, track an order, all through the internet. And so we do that entire spectrum.
This is amazing. So you can have a complete virtual business without having that big office building with, 2 or 3 floors and renting all this office space, you can literally do it from your home.
Correct.
Amazing. And then, Jennifer,
Hi.
I know you are our branding specialist today. And could you tell me a little bit about your business and how you got started?
Sure. I actually work for another business. It's called Sense Agility Ventures. So basically, we're a hybrid private equity group. Long story short, I don't know what they do on the advisory or the other side. I just kind of work with our startups. So it's basically my job to kind of take their idea and formulate it in a way that's translatable for other people. Basically branding, and in my case, it's mainly for investors. Once they get their seed or their round A, then it goes into their website strategies, et cetera, et cetera. So, and I work remotely. My whole company does. So I work with associates in Miami, Chicago, Vegas. So it's a really fascinating time to be going in business because you literally can run it from your home. I work in my pajamas, but don't tell anybody.
We'll keep it a secret. I think at some point we all can, work from home. I know I do a lot of work from at home too, even in mortgage banking, because everything is on the internet and it's all secure. So why not work from home, right? And so one of the questions that people are interested in, when you talk about branding, Jennifer, what exactly does that mean? So I, as a small business, if I say I want to brand my business, what exactly does that mean?
Well, I would look at it from 2 perspectives. From the consumer, just gonna hold that thought.
So you would look at it from the consumer's perspective and from the...
And also from the business owner's perspective.
Okay.
So from the consumer's perspective, it's sort of the experience. It's what's that brand story? It's what am I buying? I like to say, what's the value proposition? So as a consumer looking at it, I'm looking for things I can identify with, that relate to me, that speak to me, which is why knowing as, a business owner who your target demo is important because that affects your branding. So basically, for consumers, it's your message. For you, it's what you want to say. And, it's really interesting how much of that gets lost in translation, whether it's lost in translation on the business owner's end where they are not clear on who their client is, or same sort of confusion passes on to the consumer. So the trick is, as I like to say, is take a universal truth and put it in 5 words or less.
Yes, take a universal truth and put it in 5 words or less.
But the trick is it has to be pertinent to what you're selling.
Inclusive.
Right. I mean, I like that quote from Aladdin. I feel like, it kind of puts what I do very nicely. Robin Williams has this moment as the genie where he's like, infinite cosmic powers, itty bitty living space.
And you just got to pull it all into that small space so that people can identify with who you are as a brand.
Right, because you've got to think we're a very ADD world. So you literally have a millisecond. I mean, it's Pavlovian conditioning at such a level. It's crazy. And, there's some real power in that.
You're right, because if I'm on an internet surfing and what I'm looking at doesn't catch my attention in the first 2 or 3 seconds, I'm moving on.
Right, and it gets really challenging because the more sophisticated the public gets, not the sneakier, the more thorough I have to be.
Right.
So everything has to be in complete and absolute alignment. And the saying I always like to use, your curtains have got to match your carpet. You can't be sitting there selling one thing and it looks like you're selling something else entirely. It can't be like a bait and switch.
That's right.
So, it's about creating cohesion from go and, again, being super clear on what that is.
Which brings us to Ian, because that's the reason I love the websites that you develop, because in looking at the ones that you sent me as samples, immediately everyone I went to, and there were about 30 of them, everyone I went to immediately, I knew what the company was about, and I wanted to go further and deeper because of the way you set them up. And by the way, they were all distinct and different.
Right.
I could not tell the same designer designed all of the websites.
Good.
So that's fortunate. So do you have a team that you work with? How does that work?
Sure. So we sit down with the client initially, and we do almost like a step 0, where we sit down and find out exactly what they want out of their website. Some people come to us and they have no clue. They just know they need a website. They're looking for us to do all the work. We have other people on the other end of the spectrum who come to us with PowerPoint presentations. They've laid out, they've outlined, they've structured, they've written on a napkin exactly what they want. And so depending on what we get, we sit down and figure out exactly the initial concept design. So they may look at other websites that they really like. They may look at other sites that don't have anything to do with them, but they like the look and feel of it. And so we'll work to come up with a consensus look. And so then from there, we turn over to my graphic guys, and they do an amazing job of taking that design and bringing it to life. And so we usually give them 2 to 3 concept designs of what their site could look like based off of what they told us. And then from there, they go back and forth with us. And we love it. We like certain pieces of it. We hate it. And then based off of that, we'll hopefully we'll go back and do revisions. We'll send it back to them. They'll make some more tweaks. We come back, we do some more revisions. So we'll go back and forth in that one phase to come up with a look that they love. And then from there, we go into our next couple of phases where we actually turn that blueprint, if you would, into an actual full-fledged website.
That's amazing how you call my napkin a blueprint, because I'm the person who shows up with something written on a piece of paper and it's folded in my purse or a napkin because I got an idea in my head and I had to write it down right away.
Right.
So, and you can go from a small concept like that into a full website. Because, most people do know kind of in their head when they see it, they know it.
Correct.
They just don't know how to get to it, and you help them get to that.
Correct.
And then, Claudia, having a web-based business as you do, because your business is almost infinite, because you help different people who have their own businesses, you assist them, but you also have your own business, which is a virtual business in itself. So let's talk a little bit about your business, the that you have developed that catapulted all of this. So what was that?
What was the main thing
that you started with, the virtual homes?
What catapulted it was our investment choice, and the investment choice was a vacation home. And when you invest, the more information you have, the more knowledge you know about it, the less the risk.
Right.
So what I did was I wanted to get into virtual assisting, but you can't have a business as broad and wide as virtual assisting that can help every single business without a niche. So my niche became going after homeowners, property managers, anyone who basically runs a short-term vacation home. And so in that process, I started learning all the things that go behind running that business, and then started to realize that those things like a website, like a brand, were necessary not just for a vacation home, but for every business. So what that started was a blueprint of all these different services that I was able to provide that are just services that I am familiar with, that I've had relationships with, that I make contact with. And just like any other administrative assistant does, is when you have an administrative or secretary, and the CEO or boss or manager or whatever says, hey, can you handle this for me? That assistant will go out and find the person to help. So what I do is basically that, just go out and coordinate what the owner needs, what the business owner needs, and I connect them either directly or I connect them through me. However way that manager, whoever I'm working for, wants to handle that. So for example, if owner came to me and says, I need a website, I would say, what kind, what do you want, and I would find that person. It would either be myself, it would either be someone like Ivan, Ian, sorry, and to really help me get that project going. So that has, in that process of just learning about investment that we did, I have now become a virtual online business where now getting certified with more online business management is really kind of taking me to really broaden my business.
Right. And so you would be, in this situation, you would be the connector. In some situations, a small business would hire you, and then you would connect them with someone like Jennifer who could teach them how to brand themselves, and someone like Ian who could develop their website and their web presence to bring it all together.
All I am is just a modified